Good morning and welcome to the Daily Weather Operations Brief. This morning we are seeing partly to mostly cloudy skies along with some patchy fog across much of the area, and our winds are currently coming in light and variable with some scattered showers that look to be sitting just north of our local region. And we do expect these generalized conditions to stick around for most of the day today, with those limited chances of rain in the form of scattered showers remaining north of the area, and temperatures expected to climb into the upper 50s and even possibly break into the lower 60s if we see enough sunshine break through the cloud cover today and through the fog that is overspreading the region. Well, yet to play out. Either way, we should see temperatures come in above average. Now, looking at this morning's surface analysis chart here, we do have a surface boundary that is positioned just north of our region, and that is what is creating these saturated low-level conditions, which are producing that patchy fog out there and those scattered showers off to the north. And as we move through the day today, we'll see an upper-level trough that is currently up to our north begin moving eastwards, and that may influence that location of this boundary that is in the local region, and it may move that boundary a bit further south, which would ultimately give us a chance of seeing some cooler temperatures throughout the day, especially taking into account the amount of cloud cover and fog out there. The shore as a whole will likely be noticeably cooler in comparison to areas that are further inland, where they could see temperatures as high as the 70s today. But for tonight, once we see that temperature climb up, we'll see fog sticking around and low-level clouds likely lingering, with the slight chance of seeing some late-night scattered showers as that boundary moves around. And we'll also see a warm-up as we move into Thursday, as a ridge that is currently over the Gulf Coast begins pushing eastward, and that will influence that surface boundary to move further north and counteract what could happen today. And as a result, again, we'll see those warmer temperatures for tomorrow. Looking out at our current observations on the field, we can see that we have a broken layer of clouds at about 3,000 feet, and that is continuing to grow in coverage. So kind of getting socked in with clouds early today. Our visibility is at 3 statute miles as a result of that patchy fog, and that's been pretty consistent throughout much of the morning. In general, our winds are light and variable, below 6 knots, and our temperature currently sitting at 47 degrees with 46% relative humidity. Now, if we look at the satellite imagery here from this morning, we can see exactly where that boundary sits just to our north, as all of that associated cloud cover is giving away its position. We'll expect that boundary to remain rather stationary throughout the day. It may, as mentioned earlier, push a bit further south, bringing in some slightly cooler temperatures, but overall the generalized position should stay pretty consistent as we move through the day. And then if we look at the model run for today, this is the NAM high-resolution model on a 24-hour loop, and we can see those scattered showers largely staying in line with that stationary boundary up there. However, in the overnight hours, we'll see right there a glancing blow, of which the chances and probabilities for some passing showers increase ever so slightly for a good 4-ish hour period in those later hours of the evening and into the overnight hours. And that will bring us to the 24-hour forecast for the day ahead, expecting broken to overcast conditions to start us off today. Clouds will be progressively increasing, and low-level clouds do look to be building in throughout the morning, which is denoted off to the right on the TAF. And for our temperatures, expecting those to climb into the upper 50s this afternoon, And given just how broken those cloud layers are, we might see those temperatures even crest into the 60s. And if we see that boundary move a bit further south, we may see those temperatures a bit more subdued. So there is a wide range at play for those highs today. And then overnight lows do look to drop into the low 40s. For our winds, light and variable for a remainder of the 24-hour period until early tomorrow morning, in which we see an ever so slight increase in winds, but dominant in direction out of the southwest, and remaining green for today for our precip chances, although do have a couple time periods in which we indicate the chance of a very slight chance of a passing shower, as mentioned earlier, in those overnight hours, and will likely see some reduced visibilities and ceilings in conjunction with continued patchy fog through those early morning and overnight hours. And for the short-term outlook, on Thursday, expecting similar conditions, mostly cloudy, seeing those temperatures rise up into the low 60s as that boundary shifts further north and some warm air from the south can work its way up into the area. Thursday night, mostly cloudy with fog likely sticking around, and a low in the mid to upper 40s. And then Friday, mostly cloudy with a high of 53 as a potential backdoor cold front moves through the area, but greens across the board for Friday. That is going to conclude the daily weather operations brief. We will be back at 10 o'clock with the 7-day outlook. Hope everyone has a wonderful day.